This is 205 Alexander up here in the Bronx. This is a massive NYCHA complex that spans from 137th Street to 135th Street. And as we turn up there, pieces are still coming down off this building. Let's go back to that video that we just showed our viewers, which was obtained by Fox 5, showing the collapse. This was shot, we were told, by a resident in a neighboring building. It shows the top part of that chimney stack raining down. That's more than 20 stories high and came crashing down to the ground. It is an absolute miracle at this point that nobody was hurt. An FDNY source says they went over surveillance video to see if anybody was walking in that area. There was one gentleman that they saw, and they say even that person has been accounted for. So at this point, there are no injuries to report.
The street.
The fact that half of the building is gone and you felt it, it's like, luckily, I asked somebody, I said, was there any injuries? No injuries occurred. Luckily, everybody was able to get safely out. But as far as feeling and the intensity in it, it's like going downstairs. You could barely go downstairs. Everybody's trying to go downstairs. People got babies. People ain't got no shoes on. They ain't got no coats, no hats. It's cold outside.
It was like 8 of us. We all, my mom came knocking on my door, and we just all escaped and ran as soon as possible. I didn't have no shoes, nothing. We just ran as soon as possible because it sounded very urgent. Like,
Nobody hurt?
no one got hurt. No one got hurt.
No one hurt? No one hurt at all?
No one hurt at all, yeah.
Yeah, we was walking, we was gonna go, because we was going to her friend's house. So as we was going up the stairs, we just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like, once it happened, I kind of like tripped. She tripped too, and then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
And it say, boom, again. So it's the other part go down. So my sister-in-law live in this one and say, Merlin, you inside the apartment? I say, yes. La tierra está temblando. And
The ground is shaking.
Yeah. Yeah, and I say, I don't know what to do. And she say, no, get out of there because the building is getting down. So I just go outside running. So but, when I see all the smoke in the store, in the second floor is leave a lot of old people, and I go back to knock the door, get out of the building. The building is coming down.
My mother was in the building. I got a call from my sister. They were panicked. They were surprised. They heard a big boom. They don't know what happened. They heard that maybe a car broke into crashed into the building.
Again, where everything took place, this is what's happening here. 1,700 residents, tenants live in this building and live in Mitchel houses, according to NYCHA's website.
I was lay down. I hear boom, boom. My window is on this side, so I get out. And I'm watching out the window. I see a big smoke, real big smoke. I get panic. Then when I hit the second one, is when the wall fell out. I'm starting to get nervous, panic, and cry. That is bringing memories from 9/11. And then I called my daughters, and I told my other daughter, let's go, I cannot be here. And then I walked down.
I automatically called my aunt, and when she didn't answer, I came running. When she sent me the video, finally, that I was over here by the underpass, it showed just the horrific scene of that side falling down. It was horrible. I prayed to God that there was nobody down there that got hurt when that stuff fell down.
You felt the shake, and then you heard a big boom twice. And at first you didn't know what was going on, but like when you look outside your window, you hear everybody yelling to like get out, and you hear the fire department coming. And when you come down, you just see a bunch of rubble, people screaming. It was a lot.
I hope and pray that as a result of the building collapse in the Bronx, that there was not a loss of life and no serious injury to anyone. And so I pray that everyone comes out of that building safely.
You're scared of me. You can't do it. No. As you can see from behind us, there was a partial building infrastructure collapse due to what seems in preliminary investigations. There was some type of explosion. This happened at 8:10 this morning. We received reports of an incident involving the chimney to the boiler room here at NYCHA's Mitchel houses. This resulted in a partial building collapse. We are extremely fortunate. At this time, we have no loss of life or no injuries.
Tell the mayor that he's not supposed to be for the cameras, but for the people. Rather, not for the cameras, for the people.
We need to see you out here more.
Tell him to come and talk to us.
You need to check on the tenants of these buildings. If you are in charge of these buildings, you're in charge of the buildings in the city. Do your job. Do your due diligence. Because there are too many things happening. This could have been a tragedy. This could have been something a lot worse. And it's ridiculous that you only out here for a couple of minutes and then you're gone. I'm sorry. That's not fair. That is not fair. My aunt lives in this building on the 19th floor, and she showed me video of when it happened and when it went down. And I had to come running from my apartment across the way to come over here to make sure that she was okay.
They're not asking people how they're feeling. What if somebody is dead? What if somebody is hurt? Why they don't care about people's feelings? They're always showing up and then they leave. That doesn't make any sense at all.
You know, as you can see, the layout of these complexes usually they're surrounded either by parking lots, playgrounds, park-like areas. The entrance to this building appears to be somewhat distant from where the collapse was, so I think we could safely bring the people out the main entrance of the building.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
Former Commissioner Daniel Nigro, thank you. We appreciate your time and insight.
Yeah.
We want to ensure that the structural integrity of this building here at Mitchel is maintained. There is a lot of concern, a lot of anxiety from the residents that live here at Mitchel about what happens in the long term. And so over the next several hours, as inspectors are in the building, we will do everything possible to make sure that we minimize the disruption and the anxiety of the residents and the families here in this working class community.
As you can see from behind us, there was a partial building infrastructure collapse due to what seems in preliminary investigations. There was some type of explosion. This happened at 8:10 this morning. We received reports of an incident involving the chimney to the boiler room here at NYCHA's Mitchel houses. This resulted in a partial building collapse. We are extremely fortunate. At this time, we have no loss of life or no injuries.
Tell the mayor that he's not supposed to be for the cameras, but for the people. Rather, not for the cameras, for the people.
We need to see you out here more.
Tell him
You need
to come
be
and
out
talk
here
to
more.
us.
You need to check on the tenants of these buildings. If you are in charge of these buildings, you're in charge of the buildings in the city. Do your job. Do your due diligence, because there are too many things happening. This could have been a tragedy. This could have been something a lot worse. And it's ridiculous that you only out here for a couple of minutes and then you're gone. I'm sorry. That's not fair. That is not fair. My aunt lives in this building on the 19th floor, and she showed me video of when it happened and when it went down. And I had to come running from my apartment across the way to come over here to make sure that she was okay.
They're not asking people how they're feeling. What if somebody is dead? What if somebody is hurt? Why they don't care about people's feelings? They're always showing up and then they leave. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Luckily, as the mayor said, no one was injured. We ran our dogs over this pile of bricks that is behind us, which is the structure that collapsed. It is a ventilation shaft connected to the boiler, which collapsed. We believe that's where the explosion occurred, but that's going to be for our fire marshals and the NYPD and all of our investigative partners to investigate and explore.
The safety of the residents is of paramount importance, and that's the number one concern. We have building inspectors that are inspecting the foundation of the building and inspecting all of the apartments in the affected areas to make sure that the building is structurally sound for people that live in those wings. If we need to do a vacate at some point in time, that's also where we'll run the operations for people getting additional housing. Some demolition is going to take place today to remove the remnants of that chimney, to get into the basement, and then to restore services, heat, hot water, and cooking gas to the campus.
It was a bomb. Boom. The building shake, everything shake. Something that you can imagine. Some only people they was in work, they can know how the explosion feel, you know? But it was terrible. It was real terrible. I thought that the building was going to collapse.
We are thankful that there were no fatalities and no injuries, as we have learned that this happened in the boiler room.
When she showed me the video, you could see some debris falling, a lot of smoke. You can hear her screaming in the background. You can see the smoke when things were falling down. You can see all the smoke rising from the top. It was nothing but pure fear. Fear you can hear in her voice. And not only that, but I came running from 132nd Street all the way over here to 136 to make sure that my aunt was okay. It was just fear, just sheer fear. And when I saw her here and I was able to hold her, that's when I knew that she was okay.
Scared, a lot scared. It's like I told you, it's like I see when the first airplane hit the tower. I saw that from my window, from another side of the window. So that's the same what I feel. Panic, terrors. I see people running and get panic, you know. It was something that you can imagine.